the street chasing wrong from right. Eyes like fire burning through the haze. Truth is a weapon, cuts through the maze. Some call her trouble, some call her brave. Digging up secrets they tried to save. A real deal around town. She's breaking it down, spinning the wheel, exposing the sound. They despise her, they praise her, but she won't slow down. Real deal around town. The truth's her cry. Shadows, they curse her name. Afraid of the spotlight she brings to the game. But the grateful ones, they cheer in the dark for the spark she ignites in their weary hearts. Some call her danger, some call her hope. She's the thin line on the tightrope. The sound. They despise her, they praise her, but she won't slow down. Real deal around town. The truth's her crown, yeah. The sound. They despise her, they praise her, but she won't slow down. Real deal around town. The truth's her crown, yeah. The truth's her crown, yeah.
Well, hi everybody. I got to get the video out of the way there. So we're back. And you know, when it rains, it pours here in Townsend. It just doesn't know when to stop. It's not going to stop. Trust me, there is more coming. I'm going to tell you today's story, which those of you that are very local and you're connected on social media, you may have already heard. Or if you subscribe to the Boston Herald, I have to give them repeated plugs here because I'm using their material and I don't want them to copyright strike me. So I subscribe, so maybe I'll get a little gimme on this one. But they're the only ones that have really reported this story. So I'm using their material. That's all I got. But I'm going to be, as you can tell by the thumbnail, if you saw it before you came on live, Gary Shepard's getting hit by ethics, and I'm going to be talking about that. But I want to give you a very quick update on some of the other things that if you're following my videos, you already know that I've got public records requests going in. I've got open meeting law complaints going in. I just did I think it's my third appeal on my public records request, which was for a payroll register of all things from a couple years ago. And for some reason, they're fighting me on that. I sent in my third appeal because I did a video on that. So we're going to see how that goes. We just settled the open meeting law complaints that I had with the Board of Selectmen. They did what I asked them to do. I wrote things out very clearly, and I told them how they have to fix it, and they did, and I thanked them for that. And they're all in compliance with that. And that's how it's supposed to be. The community is supposed to look at an open meeting law complaint and look at and read it and not just be dismissive. The water department open meeting law complaint is still open. I hear rumors that Todd isn't happy, and I can't wait for, they're having a meeting on Monday to discuss the open meeting law complaint as well as part of their regular agenda. And I have to tell you, even though somebody's going to disagree with me, I can tell you already, but even doing it on Monday will probably be missing the boat on compliance. Having the meeting then is okay, but that's their last possible day. I have to receive their response, or they have to send me the response that same day, but they're going to vote on it on Monday night. So that's going to be kind of hard. I don't think I'll get it while I'm watching the video. While I'm watching their meeting, I'm sure it'll be a few days later, but I'll already have contacted the Attorney General and said, what gives? So we'll see how that goes. They won't get anything wrong. Nothing will happen to them, but they don't want to follow the law in this town. And today's video is going to tell you what the latest and greatest is on Gary Shepard, the fire chief, and his refusal. He's the main man on refusing to follow the law in this town. It's Gary Shepard. We call it Shepherdsville here. Some people are calling it Shepherdsburg, but that doesn't have the same ring to it. I like Shepherdsville. I mean, I don't like either one, but Shepherdsville has a better ring. Don't you think? I should do a poll on that. I may put up a poll later. I don't know how to do it on here, but I'm going to do a poll later. Shepherdsville or Shepherdsburg? Which one? So anyway, I'm going to be telling you this story on what's going on right now. And I know you're waiting for me to get to the point. I know. But I think that there's going to be more after this. I don't think this is it. This isn't just the only thing you've been waiting for. There's more to come, people. There's more to come. So let me get to it. If I can bring up, I'm going to bring up the Boston Herald. Today's article. If you don't want to listen to me, you can just hang up and go look for it yourself. But here it is. Is this it? That looks like an internet file to me. I don't want that. I'll find it. Don't worry. I know I pulled it up. Oh, come on. I know that's not it. Hang in there with me. Hold on. Stand by. That's not it. There, I knew it was there. There it is. It's here. There we are. Nope, I gotta get that out, don't I? There it is. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I'm gonna go back. Bear with me. I'm not one of these big YouTubers that have multiple screens. I have one screen in front of me. That's my laptop. So hang in there. Where to go? There it is. Okay. This is from the Boston Herald. There's Gary Shepard smiling. He's not smiling right now. He is throwing things. I'm sure he is an unhappy person. And oh, whatever. I'm getting phone calls, messages, everything telling me about what they're doing, about this story, either telling me about it or responding to my contacting them. So, Massachusetts fire chief facing heat after his private company received $5 million in town contracts. Yes, he did. That's the tip of the iceberg. My phone is, I got to turn this off or something. My gosh. Okay, he's accused of violating the state's conflict of interest law. How about them apples? We knew this was coming. You know, in fact, I think what I had previously reported is in question now about him already settling. If he really said that, I believe my sources. He had said, apparently, which I heard secondhand, and I believe my sources, okay, that he had reported at a department head meeting that he had settled with the state on the water thing and paid his fine or whatever it was that they wanted to do with ethics. And according to this article, that is not so much the truth. He may have said it, but it's not true. So here we go into the article. Rick Sobey, he's the journalist who did this story, and he used to work, or he may still do some work, or there might be a connection between the Herald and the Lowell Sun. But Rick used to do a lot of stories for Townsend, not for us, but about us. It's really easy to do. But when he worked for the Sun, he did a lot around here. But now he's working for the big guys at the Boston Herald, and he's still talking about Townsend. How about that? So anyway, here's the article. Bay State Fire Chief is in the hot seat. We already know that. All right, Townsend Fire Chief Gary Shepard is accused of violating the state's conflict of interest law, the Massachusetts Commission said on Thursday. So Rick must have spoken to them, or he's got an inside track, which I understand they do. These mainstream reporters have connections everywhere. And apparently he got an early scoop. There's another newspaper running around trying to get a story too. And I don't know if they got it from anybody. But the fire chief allegedly violated state law when he represented his fiber company in business with the town and had financial interest in town contracts. Shepard, who operates the private company Shepco Incorporated, first entered in a $754,333 contract with the town for a bridge replacement. That's Greenville Road, the one that when they blocked everybody from heading up to the Country Mile for that whole summer. So that was him, and that was unlawful. It was illegal for him to have that contract, according to ethics, and because he's the fire chief, you can't do that with the town for a bridge replacement project. And a lot of people have been asking questions about that, and apparently somebody called ethics. Then his company agreed to a $4.7 million contract with the town for the water main project for a total of $5.4 million. And I want to tell you, this is the tip of the iceberg. These are just what's being addressed by the Ethics Commission this week. There's more coming. Trust me on that. Definitely more coming. In fact, I want to do something else here. How's that? Okay. Can you read the article? Is that big enough for you? I hope that's big enough for you. Anyway, back to this. I'm going to try to, can I make this bigger? Whoops. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think that you can see that better. Okay. I want to explain ethics to you a little bit before we go too much farther. And I know some people who, particularly if you're supporting Gary or you don't understand why any of this is a big deal, it's because he's a town employee, because he's the fire chief. It's illegal for anybody who's an employee of a community to contract with them with their private business and get paid for work for the town that you're employed by. That's illegal. Now, if you think about that, you think of all the things Gary does around town. He does a lot of landscaping. He mows all the grass on all the town properties, and he charges the town for that. That's coming next. That's going to be down the road. I don't know when, but that will be coming up on the agenda with the Ethics Commission. Trust me, that is illegal. Now you same people. Yes, but Cindy, you don't understand. We have the Townsend First policy. I don't give a rat's ass. The Ethics Commission really doesn't care about the Townsend First policy. I've been raging about the Townsend First policy since they created it as just a jobs program for Gary Shepard, because he's the main company that policy was designed for. That policy was put in place by his business partner, Joe Shank, who was on the Board of Selectmen, in order to funnel contracts to Gary Shepard and no one else. Trust me, that is my opinion. So, whatever, that's my editorial comment. So, I think that I've been saying that policy needs to go from the day it got signed. And it's nothing more than a free pass for Gary Shepard. But according to state law, that is just as illegal as the Greenville Road Bridge, the water project, and whatever kind of convoluted bullshit he's done with the old harbor fire station, and creating the museum. Yep, that's even crazier. That's going to be coming up on ethics pretty soon, I believe, because that's a big one, and it's got a lot of moving parts to it. But that's town property, and he did the work on that building. And there's this whole convoluted money laundering scheme that he came up with, and some individuals employed by him who are also involved with the Historic Society. And they came up with this scheme to launder money through the... Just wait. I'll save that story for later. But that is big one that's coming up next. But we're going to stick with this one. I know some of you know that story, and you said, Cindy, don't talk about that. Oh, I'm talking about it, because what is going to happen to me? Somebody could kill me. Okay, up next, Alex. That's an ad. It came up automatically. Hopefully I don't have any more ads. Jesus, acne prone, makeup routine. Anyway, that was an ad that was a pop-up ad that came up in the article as I was reading it. Anyway, and apparently I missed it on the edit. Okay, the fire chief was reportedly warned by the state before he did business with the town. This is a quote, Shepard entered into the contracts despite having been issued a letter from the commission's enforcement division raising conflict of interest law concerns, the ethics commission wrote. So there's some paper out there I can't find it on the ethics commission site. It's got to be there. I just can't find it. I think this is the accusation thing, that it's there. I just can't find it. But anyways, that's why I'm using the Herald's article to go through this. So giving the Herald all the plugs I can. This is their article that I'm using. Anyway, this is now 3 years ago. 3 years ago, the Ethics Commission sent a letter warning Shepard that he needed a conflict of interest law exemption to contract with the town. The commission also told him how to comply with the law. So they may have granted him an exemption had he did what they told him, but he didn't. He did what he always does, ignore everybody that tries to tell him what to do. Shepard was told to contact the commission's legal division whenever he considered, remember that word is there, considered, not actually contracting, considering it. Whenever he considered contracting with the town, the enforcement division alleges that Shepard did not take any action in response to the letter. In fact, that means he ignored it like everything else he gets. He ignores any legal documents that come his way. He just challenges everybody to come after him. And most people don't. But the state doesn't play that game. And Mr. Vijay knows that as well. So here we are. So they told him in 2022, which means somebody must have filed an ethics complaint then in 2022. Now, I think that might have been, was that the bridge? No, it had to be I don't know. I don't know what was going on then that he was involved with, but somebody must have called ethics on him then. I don't know who it is. I'm not hiding any information from you. I don't know. But this is very interesting that this is nothing new. This is the Ethics Commission has been investigating Gary Shepard for at least 3 years. At least. The first contract was in December 22, and the second project in March of 23. So the 22 was the bridge. The Greenville Road Bridge is the 22. Okay, the conflict of interest law prohibits municipal employees, including fire chiefs, from having a financial interest in a contract made by the municipality they serve. The Ethics Commission wrote, the law prohibits municipal employees from acting as an agent for or being paid by anyone other than the municipality in relation to a matter in which the municipality is a party or has a direct and substantial interest. Now, this is why I'm really hot now on the Harbor Fire Museum in the old firehouse that is owned by the town. The town, of course, this is another part of the scheme. This isn't even being addressed by ethics. I'm just telling you, this is coming. But the Harbor Fire Museum is owned by the town of Townsend. It is leased to the Fire EMS nonprofit, whatever they are. They collect donations for God knows what. Who knows where that money goes? But that's different. That's a whole different story that I'm not telling. I don't know the story, so I'm not telling it. But anyway, I'm not going to do it. But so they leased it. So, it was just the Fire EMS that's contracting, not the town. No, the property belongs to the town. So the law prohibits. I believe the Ethics Commission deliberately put this in here as kind of a warning of what's to come. I really do. Because this is this tells the story about what's coming with the Harbor Fire Museum. The law also, I'll read this again. The law prohibits municipal employees from acting as agent for or being paid by anyone other than the municipality in relation to a matter in which the municipality is just a mere party to or has direct and substantial interest, which the property owned by the town is a matter in which the municipality would be a party or certainly a direct and substantial interest. The fact that there's this convoluted money laundering trail of deceit to get it so that Gary will do the work on the building and be compensated for it by someone other than the municipality. Who's paying him? Oh, somebody, the Al Stone family. That's who paid for that. Yep, and they paid the money to the historic committee there, not the commission. Yep, the nonprofit, the historic society. That's all these words. Historical Society paid Gary. They funneled the money from Al Stone, and they paid Gary Shepard with the money that came from Al Stone. And let me tell you, there are people up in arms about that, and it's all going to come down to maybe this one. The reason this is not addressed might be because somebody's going to go to jail, because all these commissions, they can forward things to other legal entities like the FBI or the state or somebody. This can be a lot more convoluted than I make it, because I don't know. But I predict things. I like to predict things when I have enough evidence. And this has given me the evidence. This whole thing, this statement that the Ethics Commission made, I can't, as far as the water department one and the bridge, I don't know that there's some claim of third party involvement. Although I know the water commission one is there's some claim that there's a subcontractor in there, and that David didn't really contract directly with Gary. I think there's something coming up on that there's this weird, because when Todd Melanson, what I call his deposition, when he gave his deposition during the meeting the other day, I think that he did kind of hint that there's a third party involvement, but it is some kind of defense. I don't know. We'll see. But there's more coming. There's more coming. Some people are just shitting their pants that I'm talking about all this stuff, but that's okay. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. The order alleges that Shepherd violated these prohibitions by having a financial interest in the contracts for the bridge replacement and water main projects by acting on behalf of SHEPCO in relation to those contracts, and by receiving payments through SHEPCO's work on those contracts, the commission added. The Ethics Commission can impose a civil penalty of up to $10,000 for each violation of the conflict of interest law. So right now, the commission is the only things the commission is dealing with is the bridge and the water. So the water thing isn't dead when it comes to Gary. They were just warming up, and somehow we got the bad information. It wasn't bad information, it was just not quite fully developed because of secrecy. The Ethics Commission had no reason to call me up and to tell me what the story is, but it was not over. Gary was not off the hook. They were still investigating. Yahoo! So now we're going to town with him, and yep. So there's a maximum penalty of $10,000 for each violation, and since the Ethics Commission had already warned him 3 years ago, and he proceeded anyway, I don't think that they're really willing to negotiate the maximum. I think they're going for broke, but we'll see. This is going to be months coming. This is going to be because David Vajant started in June, and we're still not at the final hearing. We have a hearing next week on David Vajant, which I'll be attending, hopefully live with all of you. Or not live. I won't be doing it live. Sorry. I'll be going to recording it and then right away doing a live video to display with everything. But anyway, okay. So the Enforcement Division will give him an opportunity to resolve the matter through a disposition agreement, that's what we thought had already happened, but it hadn't. The commission plans to schedule a public hearing on the allegations against Shepherd within 90 days. Okay, that's it. That's the article. Yahoo! Where am I going? Okay. So that's the story on that. I'm not going to pull it up, but the Ethics Commission is having their regular monthly meeting, which they do, like every other board and commission, on the 18th. No, not the 18th. I think the 20th. The 20th, I think. On their agenda is the docket for Gary Shepherd, which I guess Gary is still ignoring them. So he was given an opportunity to resolve this, and he's chosen to do the same thing that David did, or he's just ignoring it. Because that's how Gary operates. He just ignores. He gets notices. He just doesn't show up. And I think that's might be what he's doing. So they'll go on without him. Anyway, I mean, if Gary Shepherd does not show up, they're going to go on without him, and he's going to get fined, and they have to pay. I mean, maybe he will. Maybe that's exactly what he'll do. Just let everything go without him. I don't know that he's required to attend. They just need to prove that they notified him. That's all, right? That would be all it would be. My shoulders bother me. I don't know why. So in the next 90 days, there should be a public hearing. They'll have preliminary public hearing and then the full vote. The preliminary one if Gary doesn't show up, that'll be short and sweet. and then they'll have a public hearing. If he doesn't show up for that, that won't be all that short, I don't think, because they'll have to go through the process of whoever's asking for the fines or trying to present. They'll still have to present the case to the hearings officer, and we'll still come up with whatever. But if he doesn't show up, we know what's going to happen. They're not going to say, okay, that's all right, we'll just let Gary be Gary. No, they're not. This is okay. I got comments coming up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. So could I believe someone served me? Oh, yeah. Okay. So I don't know who else is here. There's a couple people here. So yeah. Not a lot of people, so we don't have a lot of comments. So anyway, so that's the latest with Gary. And like I said, there's going to be a lot more coming. And I'll be watching the news articles from other sources. I think the Herald will probably be publishing multiple times over the next few weeks on this story. The other newspapers, the Globe, the Worcester Telegram, maybe the Lowell Sun will publish something. Since Rick has been affiliated with the Lowell Sun, there'll probably be a sister article of some sort popping up in the Lowell Sun. If it's not there today, it'll be there tomorrow. I also subscribe to that, so I'll see what they have. I'll be able to read it. And yeah, this is a story that's going viral. And Josh might be back. I haven't talked to Josh. When I say Josh Abrams, AFA. I don't know if he's going to come back again, but he gave up on us too soon. The shit's coming back up. But anyway, yeah, so there'll be more news. Since this is moving forward with the Ethics Commission, there will be something posted on their website, which I'll be watching for very closely. So, and I will bring it to you as soon as I have it. So, I'm sorry I haven't done a video in a few days. I've got a couple other ones sitting in the hopper, trying to find time to do it. And I stopped everything I was doing today once I got the word on this article from the Herald. And so this is really breaking news that I needed to get out to you. And we will I'll be following up on that story. I don't think I have anything else going on. We've got a number of meetings in town hall. A lot of them happened yesterday. I think I'm missing one right now. I wasn't going to watch it anyway. Select board's meeting on Monday. This is an interesting one. The select board is anyway, the board is meeting on Monday. They're going in executive session to negotiate contract with Nelson Moy, our town's administrator. He's got I think his contract's a few years, 2 or 3 years. 3, it's got to be. So why they're meeting Monday to negotiate his contract is very interesting. There's a story there. Trust me. This meeting's an executive session, but whatever they're doing will eventually be public. So I'll be following that story. And let's see, what else is happening? What other boards are meeting? I don't have it in front of me. Let's see. There's a lot going on in town hall. There's a lot more stuff happening. Oh, I'm going to do another one later on our town finances. We have more problems. Town finances have a real problem. And I've let a couple people know what the problem is, but I'm going to hold back on doing a video or expressing it here because it's a little, I've got the investigative journalist in me is trying to find more than what is just on the surface. Because I think we have a big problem. I do. I think we have a big financial problem. And the FinCom and Board of Selectmen are clueless to it, but it's in plain view. It's a picture right in front of them, and they're blind to it. And I'm going to show that too. So if you're on the board, either one of those boards, FinCom or Select Board,
hi, it's coming. It's coming out. And you think last year was bad on trying to get to town meeting. Wait till this year. And I'm not threatening. I'm just saying I have no control. I'm just reporting the news. I am not the news. I'm reporting the news. So let's just hang in there with me. So anyway, I got 5 people in here. Anybody got something to say about this Gary Shepherd thing? No, if you just came in, you probably don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm going to be ending this because I'm running out of things to talk about. I know that's rare for me, isn't it? So, but the big news is Gary Shepherd is under big time investigation on the conflict of interest, and they're going for it. They've got their evidence, and they're going for it. And they rarely go for something they don't have the evidence for. So, we are on the news again, and another scandal. Well, it's the same scandal, just part 2. It's just exploding now. It's much bigger, and it's going to be big news around town, and all the forces, everybody's taking their positions, and everybody's going to be throwing stones and whatever else they can throw, but the truth is the truth. And this has been coming, and I think most people in town know that's been coming, and now it's going to be playing out right in front of everybody in living color on the news. It will probably, let's see, I don't know, will NBC 10 have it today? We're going to have to take bets. They usually have that small town secrets. We've been on that once before. Last year we were on there with Chaz, and I don't know, they haven't hit up on the scandal with the water department now. Maybe they'll come back. Now maybe they'll take another look, and we'll do another segment. They're the big news channel these days. The other ones are kind of fiddled out. I don't know. But okay, I'm going to end now, and just stay tuned. I will be putting more information out on the Gary Shepherd thing, because it is big news, people. Big news. How long does he have as fire chief? Time will tell. They just met, the select board. I'm going to keep going. The Board of Selectmen just met with him in executive session for contract negotiations. Hopefully they didn't settle it yet. That would be bad. If they've already settled that contract, I think they should go back. And of course, they have to vote on it in open session. So I think they're going to hold back. They need to hold back, because this is, I think the part that's really concerning me, the Board of Selectmen need to take serious this time, rather than try to elevate him to sainthood, is realize that the Ethics Commission warned him 3 years ago that he was violating the law, and he ignored it. And let's see, how much you want to bet the select board has no idea that happened? Of course, those 3 women that are on our select board were not on the select. Oh, wait, Veronica. I think Veronica Kell was on the Board of Selectmen back then. So she probably does know. We'll find out. Yes, we will. So no matter what they say, they cannot protect the town or Gary from this. How many more lawsuits? Let's see. Did anybody else bid on the Greenville Road Bridge project? I wonder. Is that going to be another lawsuit? Now that ethics is going to be investigating that one. That's what I predicted for the water thing, but it's been a couple years. Let me find out. There's another public record request going in. Any other bidders? Any other bidders? Hello? Any other bidders on the Greenfield Road Bridge project? Or was Gary the only one? Did they put it out for bid properly? That's another question. Oh my goodness. We shall see. Okay, a short video today. So I'll talk to everybody soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like this video. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe.